Pokémon, but Monday Morning Misery decides my team. It's a series I've done a while back, but honestly, it did decent, so why not do it again? The rules are simple. I have to let my opponent in Monday Morning Misery pick the song I play, meaning I cannot select the song myself. Rule 2. I have to catch a Pokemon that best fits the song, mod, or the reference to the origin source. Then after all that, I go through the Academy Ace tournament, and then I have to get my team to level 80 to prepare for it. That's the basic rules, but yeah, let's get right into it.
And the first song of the challenge is... Fun.
What the...
You don't want to be like this. This is disgusting. This is awful in every way. If I could kill it, I would. But I legally can't. But I've considered it.
And if you know an iota about Monday Morning Misery in general, you'll probably hear the ever so infamous... And I wish I was joking by me saying that isn't a common occurrence, but it is, and while that is a problem, it did make me into the YouTuber I am today, so honestly, I'm not complaining too much. But anyway, let's move on to our first encounter. Let's go! Timer begins in 3, 2, 1, go. So the main thing with this is, there's not a whole lot of Pokemon I could really catch that fit just SpongeBob, so I just kind of opened it up to the other SpongeBob cast, so apologies if this encounter's a bit basic, but let's get into it. So the first thing I was going to look for was a Pokemon that fit the main cast of SpongeBob the best. Obviously, Tentacle for Squidward, or even Brawler for Mr. Krabs could work pretty well. Problem is, there's not really a SpongeBob Pokemon, and at the time I wasn't sure if Starmie was even in the game, which I'm pretty sure it is, but here it is, just in case if it is or not. But I just ended up deciding to go with Tentacle, because Tentacle's water poison type I thought could be really useful, and especially because Tentacle is also one of my favorite Pokemon from Gen 1. I ended up using False Light to bring it down to low HP, so I could catch it easier. Then I just threw one Ultra Ball at it, and caught it with ease. I decided on the nickname Squidward, just for obvious reasons, because what other nickname am I going to give this thing? Let's be perfectly real. But yeah, I caught it with 2 minutes and 17 seconds left on the clock. I know it doesn't look that way because the quality looks like a potato, but anyway, on to the next match. Alright.
I'm going to kill you, and then kill you again.
3, 2, 1.
Oh my gosh. Here we go.
What? Are you stupid?
Yep, no core progression. Just pure cringe.
And the reason why I skipped over this, because not gonna lie, it was boring as heck. Like, here's a snap bit of all the things, so on to the next encounter.
Welcome to Sonic Gaming!
So for encounter 2, I was really considering Teddy Ursa, because Teddy Ursa kind of looks like this guy from Happy Tree Friends, because they look like bears. But the problem was, I had a hard time remembering exactly where Teddy Ursa spawned. Because I know there's a guaranteed Ursaring spawn, I could just call it an Ursaring, but I just couldn't remember exactly where it was. So it took me a while, and I actually almost ran out of time. So I just ended up settling for Shanks, because Shanks was like right there, and like, I could maybe see Shanks being in Happy Tree Friends. I mean, just look at this. But yeah, I just caught Shanks, so it's on to the next encounter. And of course my dumb butt forgets to nickname it.
Maybe Shaggy Song would be nice.
What? What?
3, 2,
Oh, okay. They're not terrible. Hard. But you know what? I'll GG that.
Mr. Krabs, hit the triangle right now! What?
So, since I got another SpongeBob song, it only makes sense I go for a crab Pokemon this time. So, of course, I made the ever so intellectual decision of picking Corphish. But after a swift catch as always, it's onwards to the next match. This could be 50-50. Let's see what he got. What are you cooking?
Oh my gosh! Get up!
3, 2, 1.
Oh my. And if you're wondering why I'm cringing so hard, here is why.
Now the main problem area is up here. All of this going on up here is what's causing me the most physical discomfort. It's like a visceral reaction of discontent coming from this area. This area is not good either. I hate this, but I'm mainly worried about this.
You deserve nothing. No one loves you. You are not loved. You're not amazing. You're not precious. You are the scum of the earth. Everyone hates you. Name me one person that loves you. No one. You can't think of any because there isn't any. No one cares about your pathetic little life and no one cares about you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let the recording explain for itself. Alright, since this is a Steven Universe-esque song, I have a decent idea. That's only because I got lucky with outbreaks. You'll see why in a little bit. But, 3, 2, 1, go. So if I go up here just a bit, just a little bit. Where is it? Where is it?
Nick Minute.
Yep, there's just a Gallade outbreak. So, yeah. Gallade is my encounter for number 4. I false swiped it down to 1 HP, threw a Pokeball at it, caught it with ease, and it's on to the next match. Yeah, this is getting very repetitive. Come on. Pick a decent song.
No, for the love of... Not this train wreck again.
2, 1.
Oh, frick me. I didn't have my keybind set. Okay, it's gonna be close. Dadgummit. Okay, he's fumbling. Okay, lock it. Don't worry about the middle. This is why accuracy is important, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Clutched it out.
But anywho...
So for Encounter 5, it was honestly a tough decision to pick, like, a specific Pokemon. So I just went with the loose reference in Dino to Hydreigon. And Hydreigon, simply because it has 3 heads. There's no other reason why. But this was a pain to get. Now you might be wondering, Primafi, why was this so hard to get? Well, first of all, I had a hard time finding the outbreak, because for some reason I thought it was above ground when it's below ground in the cave. So I spent a good chunk of time just running around trying to find it while also insulting Koraidon in the process. Go faster, you frogless lizard! But even after I did find it, oh, my pain was not over yet. Because this dino would not stay in the ball. You know what, I'm just gonna let the clip explain it for itself. Okay. Okay. Buddy, Glade, you can't be doing this. Thank you. Goodness. I'll just repeat. Honestly. Okay, crit capture. The one time the repeat ball's ever been useful. Not much better on mobile than PC. That's just the thing I noticed.
Say, hold up, wait a minute.
Alright, Accelerant. Finally, a decent song.
You blew it!
Bob the Building.
Alright, y'all, I'm not gonna waste y'all's time because honestly, it's pretty obvious what I went for. I went for Charcadet because I thought Armor Rouge looked like someone straight out of Madness Combat, so that's what I did. But yeah, I caught it with these, blah blah blah, onto the actual Academy Ace tournament. Alright, I'm not gonna waste any more y'all's time. Let's get right into this. Alright, so our first match is against Votova Sakura from Persona 5. She leads with Umbreon and I with Tentacruel. I get off a Toxic because Umbreon is stupidly bulky. Then I tank a Psychic and swap into Glade. After taking another Psychic, I tried to spam Swords Dance, but it kept baby dollizing and attacking for like a little while, but it could not kill me. But after which, Umbreon fell to poison damage, so that was pretty interesting. Next out is Flareon, which I proceed to Oko with an Aqua Cutter. By the way, Oko just means one-hit KO. Don't worry, you'll be hearing that phrase a lot, so it's better you know now. Up next is Vaporeon, which Glade Okos with Sacred Sword. Up next is Jolteon. It almost KOs Glade with Thunder, however it activates the Salicbury, which is totally not important later on. But anyway, Glade Okos it with Sacred Sword. Up next is Leafeon, which finally picks up the KO with Quick Attack. Executos, you bloody legend. Next up is Mega Man the Armor Rouge. Leafeon decides to baby dollize me when I'm clearly a special attacker.
You stupid!
So I decided to Will-O-Wisp it to cripple its physical attack. Then after taking an X-Scissor, Weak Armor activates, which lowers my defense by 1 stage in exchange for raising my speed by 2 stages. Then I proceed to set up a Calm Mind and obliterate the Leafeon with Armor Cannon. Last up is Sylveon. After Penny terrestrializes her Sylveon into a Fairy type, I do about less than half with an Armor Cannon before falling to a Shadow Ball Quick Attack combo. Squidward comes back out, and the two of them decide to have a disturbing the peace moment for about 24 seconds, before Sylveon falls to a Sludge Wave, ending the battle. Next out is Arven. I do a similar strategy to the Umbreon and just set up Toxon at turn 1, before it follows up with a pretty massive Earthquake. I just started setting up a bunch of Acid Armors to try to negate the damage from Earthquake before it dies to poison damage. But I ended up taking out with the Sludge Wave, so that didn't really matter all that much. Next up is Garganacl. I tried setting up a Toxic, but forgot Arvid's Garganacl has Purifying Salt and not Sturdy, so it retaliates with a massive Earthquake, taking out Squidward. Next up is Executos the Glade. I set up one Sword Stance before tanking a pretty big Earthquake, dealing about less than half. However, Executos quickly picks up the Oko with Sacred Sword. Next up is Toadscruel, which gets obliterated by Sacred Sword, as well as the Scovillain that follows. And the Cloyster also suffers a similar fate. Last up is Mabosstiff. Mabosstiff picks up a quick KO with Play Rough on Executos, which in return I respond with Nightbolt the Luxray. A Terra Dark boosted Crunch with Intimidate drop does less than half, before I respond with a Thunder Wave. Then my man Nightbolt decides to miss a Play Rough, which is a 5% chance. If it's not 100% accurate, it's 50% accurate, by the way. Then Nightbolt loses a crit boosted Crunch, leaving me at 1 HP thanks to Affection of all things.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Nightbolt does a little over half of Play Rough before falling to another Crunch. Next up is Mr. Krabs the Crawdon, which finishes up the Mabosstiff with Crab Hammer, winning the battle. Next up is Mr. Jock. I immediately switch out Squidward for Hydreigon because I was scared of getting obliterated by a Power Whip. Victreebel then sets up the Sun to boost its speed, before following up with a pretty powerful Sludge Bomb doing about half. Then Victreebel decides to Strength Sap when I'm a special attacker. Then I proceed to Oko with a nasty plot boosted Dragon Pulse. Next up is Arcanine. Arcanine picks up the KO on Hydreigon after a Play Rough. That was through a Roselli Berry, by the way. Next up is Nightbolt. Arcanine uses Flare Boots, which actually gets the burn on me, which is pretty devastating because I'm not Guts, I am actually Intimidate. But yeah, Nightbolt is just cooked. I Thunder Wave the Arcanine to try to slow it down. Then I just kind of stall out Luxray's last turns because I wanted to deal as much damage as possible before Nightbolt fell. To absolutely nobody's surprise, Gallade's back out. Arcanine gets off an Extreme Speed, which does about a quarter of Gallade's health, before falling to Aqua Cutter. The Swallow that follows proceeds to get O-Code by Psycho Cut, and the Mudstone meets a similar fate, getting O-Code by Aqua Cutter. The Slowbro gets off a Quick Draw Psychic before meeting a similar fate with the Aqua Cutter Psycho Cut combo. Gallade then does 3/4 of Frigorous health with Aqua Cutter, then Gallade decides to clutch up by surviving on 30 HP from a Shadow Ball, which is insane, but the Frigorous falls to an Aqua Cutter and I win the battle. But yeah, Gallade out here looking like the 2016 Cavs. Lastly is Gita. Squidward and Glamora go back and forth with Surf, Light Screen, Earth Power, and all that. But seriously though, look at this. This took like 2 minutes to get through. This took a long time, and this is like sped up, so you're getting the full glimpse of this, baby. But yeah, after a long struggle, Squidward finally takes out Glamora with Surf. Squidward uses Toxic on the following Avalugg because Avalugg is actually decently bulky, so I didn't want to chance anything. But Squidward falls to an Earthquake on his next turn. Gallade is out next. A heavy slam for Avalugg does massive damage, leaving him at 105 HP, before he can clean up with Sacred Sword. Sharpness was a much needed buff for Gallade. Next I was a Spothra, and I was really worried because of Shadow Ball and a Spothra's high speed and special attack, but Executos, the absolute legend, lives on 12 HP before KOing a Spothra with Aqua Cutter. My gosh, Gallade has been clutching. But Dragapult picks up the KO with Dragon Dart, so it wasn't all that great. But then Xeno the Hydreigon comes in clutch and finishes out the Dragapult with a Dark boosted Dragon Pulse. The Chestnut follows just absolutely bullies my Hydreigon with Leech Seed and before finishing it off with the Drain Punch. Nightbolt then cleaned up with Play Rough shortly after. For the King Gamut fight, I'm just going to leave this uncut with some music playing in the background because I think that perfectly encapsulates what I experienced with this fight. Stone Edge? Oh god. Well, that is, terrifying. Drop an Intimidate. You're not sucker punching me. Roto Cleave. I live. Leaves me fully paralyzed. Or you're just not gonna use Sucker Punch, and you're dead. Oh, way to go, Nightbolt. So yeah, a lot ended up happening there, but Nightbolt came in clutch with the victory there, so good on you for actually redeeming yourself. But thank y'all so much for watching. If y'all did enjoy, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and the next video you'll see me will probably be my room tour, so see you then.